That's not a big enough sign. There's so many different configurations. All right, so let me tell you how this video is gonna work. First, we're gonna go out on the bike trail. We're gonna do some fat biking, and I'm gonna show the brand new, and I'm gonna show my brand new Hero 8. Now, word of warning, we're going back into the past because I actually recorded this about 6-7 weeks ago because I got a backlog of videos to go through. So we're gonna go back then and we're gonna figure out there's a big problem with the GoPro Hero 8, kind of. Let's get into the video. So not half an hour ago, we had basically no snow. All the snow had melted and it was cold out, but it wasn't snowing. Now suddenly it's a blizzard. So naturally I'm gonna go biking in a blizzard, you know, by myself. I'm actually not doing it for a change, but the guys at work always hassle me because I'll eat my donut. Like I got a coffee, donut, and a sandwich, and I regularly eat the donut first. I can't be the only one. This is a super crappy off-ramp, and it kind of sneaks up on you, especially with this kind of weather. All you've got to go by is these two little signs. Oh, there it is, see? That's not a big enough sign off a giant highway. It's not a giant highway, but off a highway regardless. So this is the first time ever I've had the GoPro mounted directly to my Stuntman chest harness. I've got no gimbal because this is the first time riding with the GoPro Hero8, which has Hypersmooth 2.0. So you're not supposed to need a gimbal. So I'm taking that angle. I don't know how easy that's going to be to repeat. This is out, and then straight on the back. Oh! Okay. Wow. I was getting a bit aggressive. And it's icy under there. Wow, that could have been much worse. Oh, well, that might slow me down a bit for this ride. I was getting aggressive. Oh yeah, I can feel how slippery it is under here. Yeah, look at this. I did not realize it's pure ice under the snow. That's why I almost ate it already. I need to get studs on this bad boy. So I wanted to stop for a minute and talk about clothes. I'm wearing a buff, first time I've ever had one. I got a toque underneath the helmet. I've got a sweat wicking one, so that's kind of helpful because I sweat a lot. I've got, I think they're waterproof or insulated or something, gloves. They keep my hands pretty warm, and I'm wearing just a normal snowboarding jacket for now. When it gets too warm or when I'm sweating too much, I want to be able to take it off, which kind of sucks when you're on long trails. I don't know if I'm gonna have to tie it around my waist. This is all new to me. I got a few pairs of these pants at Winners for like 20 bucks Canadian. Can't beat that. And then lastly, I've got some leather boots. They've got some good traction on them, so far they're working pretty good, and they're a hell of a lot cheaper than cycling boots, so we're gonna see how long I can ride with these. Going further down, I'm also wearing long johns under the sort of splash running pants, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and a sweater without a hood, and then the jacket, so that way I can kind of drop layers if I get too sweaty. What do you wear when you're fat biking? Because it's really hard to figure out, especially because it changes with every temperature change. Like right now it's -10 maybe. So what's it gonna be like at -20? You know, what's it gonna be like at -30? I'll tell you from in my house. I'm attempting to get this tree. Let's get my bike out here. The tree was blocking the path here and on the other side. Now we got the big guy out of the way. So I definitely need some goggles because my eyelashes were sticking together and it was hard to see. But I'm thinking let's try the gimbal. Hopefully I don't mess it up, but I don't know how much smoother it is. So for reference, this is a Feiyu-Tech WG2X. This is the gimbal that I've been using basically since I started my channel, I think 1 or 2 videos in, with the Hero7. So I'm hoping that I won't need it with the Hero8 because it's sitting here, there's a lot of bulk, it's moving around. It's not even technically waterproof. I think it's mildly water resistant. So in this weather, it may not do too well. So I definitely think I won't be running it in the winter, kind of regardless. But I want to see what difference it makes, especially in this low light. So this is the setup I've been running for months. This is how it sits on the Stuntman with the WG2X. It's a great name, very memorable. And then the GoPro sat here. And with the Hero7, the lens is here, but the on button was over here. So I couldn't even turn the Hero7 on without either connecting it to the gimbal, or I would have to make sure that I had voice activation on. So I would have to say things like GoPro start, you know, recording. I don't want to say that all in one or this thing will think the opposite and turn itself off. But now the button is actually on the left, so I'll be able to reach it pretty easily. I don't have to worry too much about voice activation all the time. But I'm hoping that I can just run this without this. Let's see how much better it looks. Okay, so that I did not see coming. The GoPro doesn't fit. Let's go into the studio to check this out. All right, so we're back in the studio and back into the future, and we figured out that unfortunately the GoPro does not fit in the Feiyu-Tech gimbal. At least it didn't. So in between 6 or 7 weeks ago when I was filming the fat biking video that you're seeing, or you're just watching, I emailed Feiyu-Tech and I said, hey, the Hero8 doesn't fit in this gimbal. What can we do about this? And they had a piece that fits for a different gimbal, and they said, nah, it doesn't work for this. And I said, I beg to differ, let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna prove it. And then I also emailed Stuntman and I said, listen, I kind of wish that there wasn't this double ball thing for the GoPro, the 2-finger. And they said, we got a brand new product, check it out. And they sent it to me free. Awesome, awesome, nice people. Just to show that it works perfectly, and it does. So check this out. Okay, so I'm using the Stuntman chest harness, which is right here. This is the back side of it. You can see that screw there. And that screw is the same as this screw. And so this screw is attached to a ball. And then there's this little in-between piece, and then there's another ball. It can have either a pin for it for a normal camera or for my gimbal that I was using, or there's one with the 2-finger thing for the GoPro, which is what I was using when I filmed this video. The problem was that there's so many different configurations. You just loosen this and these balls can turn all over the place and on all different angles, and I had some weird thing where it was rigged up and it was all upside down or whatever. So the problem with that is it was really difficult to know where the camera was actually facing. With the gimbal, it automatically levels the camera, so you're looking kind of straight up. So in this case, we were looking too far down, and that's why you can see way too much handlebars and not enough trail. So this whole setup is really cumbersome, and because things are moving and you gotta unscrew this, and it's just, there's too much room for error, I find. So I didn't like this setup, and I actually ended up emailing Stuntman, the company, and they had a new product that came out for the Hero8, so let me show you. So this is the new J-hook that Stuntman put out. Now I have it mounted upside down, and that way I can get the camera angling up. Up here I wasn't able to get it angled up as much because it runs into the actual harness. So upside down I got lots of room that I can move it up and down to try and get the angle exactly what I want. And right now I have it taped as a way of marking exactly where it is. So I'm going to test that out in another video and hopefully get that angle dialed in. And then I'm going to put little paint marks on it so that I always put the GoPro in exactly the same angle. So here is the gimbal, which I didn't realize until I got out on the trails that this doesn't fit. It's so close. It's ridiculously close, but it's actually the height that's the problem, not really the thickness. It's the height. This just doesn't quite fit. So no matter how loose I got this thing, it just wouldn't fit. So I reached out to Feiyu-Tech and they had a semi solution. They do have a different bracket that fits the Hero 8, but it's not technically made for this gimbal. They haven't actually made one for this gimbal. So I took the chance and I ordered it anyway. And they sent me this. So you can see it's the G6 mounting plate. This is not a G6. This is a WG2X. So I'm gonna try and hope that this actually fits. And again, I may never even need this Feiyu-Tech gimbal, but just in case, I wanna at least have the option. Worst case, it does come with a mount for my GoPro session, which I also have. So at least this thing's not completely useless. But let's see if it'll actually fit the new adapter for the Hero 8. Okay, so it's on. That part fits. That's really the most important part. Now, what they told me here, and this is why technically this isn't made for this, is that this part here could potentially rub and hit. You see, like, depending on how, it might catch there. But don't forget, this thing spins up and down and sideways and things. So generally speaking, it's not gonna move so much that it hits here. And even if it does once in a while, at least it's useful for the Hero 8. Otherwise, you just can't even use it. So let's see. Look at that, just slides in like a glove. And then, yeah. So see how that's hitting right there? Like that is like touching there. So I just want to move this bracket as far up against the lens as I can and tighten it up there. Now while I'm tightening this, word of warning, I ordered this directly from Feiyu-Tech's website because they didn't have it in any like authorized resellers, and I'm in Canada. And it took like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or something ridiculous to get it. It took a long time. So, just like that, it fits. Thank goodness. 6 weeks of, anticipation, and it fits. I haven't charged this thing in a long time, so let's see if it even turns on. Boom. It's on. And it has this mode where it tries to like lock on. Cool, eh? So there you go. The new mount fits, so I will do some tests and I will let you guys know how awesome it works. But right now, at least I have the option of going back to my gimbal should the Hero 8's Hyper Smooth 2.0 not be smooth enough. By the way, I'm going to talk more about the Stuntman harness in the future because I want to actually test out the angle and get it dialed in, because I don't think I'm going to be using the gimbal, at least during the winter, because it's not waterproof and there's always snow and I could fall in the snow and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to wreck it, and I'm hoping, especially when you're fat biking is a lot smoother, it's less jittery and jumpy, so I think the Hero 8 is going to be just fine without the gimbal. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll keep making these videos. We'll see you guys probably in about a week. That seems to be my normal schedule. It's a hobby, though. I'm not promising anything. Okay, guys. Bye.